Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode number 104 of CoCreative NoCode's Office Hours. I'm your host, Tonya. I'm here with our member, Thomas, and my Kim, and we're going to get started here in just a moment. But if this is your first time joining us on Office Hours, we do this every day of the week, Monday through Friday, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 10 a.m. Pacific time, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. Pacific time. And what we do is we welcome all of our members to join us on the Zoom session, and they can ask us any question they want about Bubble, and we will do our best to answer it. If you would like to join us for a complimentary office hour session, you can go ahead and comment on the live here on Facebook, or if you happen to be watching the replay on YouTube, you can go ahead and comment there. While you're at it, if you'll go ahead and give us a like, I'd appreciate it, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any episodes. Let's see, let's go ahead and get started. Thomas, you said you had some clarification needed, so I'll stop sharing.
Sweet. Give me 1 second as I... All right, you guys can see me, right?
Yep.
So finally got a chance to start working on the project and just kind of was looking through what we were doing with the backend workflow and how we were just creating the canvas.
Mm-hmm.
So right now I have two questions, but I'll stick to number one, the first one, and then I'll do the second one later.
Okay.
So the first one is that I'm trying to work with auto binding. And one of the things I was just attempting right now was like when working with actual inputs, like saving them to like having a concept format under the field to modify answers for the data type answers. Just having a bit of trouble understanding what's going on there in general and how to actually store each individual input from each individual group.
Okay, so go back to where you have that red input in the inspector. Or is that what that's called? I always forget what that's called. It's the element editor. Sorry, the element editor on the design page.
Element editor on the
so where you were setting that when you were enabling the auto binding. Yeah, just go ahead and click there.
Here?
Or here? Yeah, that's fine. Click on content format.
This is where I got a little confused. And I thought it was just the data source on the actual group.
So what is the group's data type there? It's a canvas. Got it. Okay, I see what's happening here. So you actually want, what you want to do is you want to do a repeating group with inputs. And then the repeating group's data source is going to be the answers filtered down to that problem.
Gotcha. So I'm trying to remember, we did a similar thing where we filtered by. So essentially do the same thing here. Let's see if I can find it just to make sure I understood you right. So essentially do what we did here.
Right, exactly.
Gotcha. And then just filter by type.
Mm-hmm.
And then, okay, so I will attempt that on my own separately and come back to you if I have any problems.
Okay.
So essentially, just to recap, each individual step here, turn each of them into repeating groups with 3 columns and inputs in them, and then just filter them.
You don't need the columns, you just need a repeating group vertically, and then each cell is going to be 1, 2, 3.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense. Okay. And then my second question is, I will show you first, and then I will explain.
Okay.
So when I click Add New,
what
I've done in this situation is I have 2 to-go-to pages. So I'll show you. So what was happening before the step 1 was here, was when I created Canvas, I'll just show you. When I created a canvas, the the little tabulets here would pop up like right here. And then it makes a page switch. You saw that? It's a little slow. I'm trying to essentially have it jump to step 1. And then obviously to let the load happen in the background instead of having it, switching after the result of step 1, which is creating the canvas. So what I did was go to page stage 1, but then it told me that it was erroring out and there was an issue. So my question is, does it make sense to do a go-to page again, or is there another way?
So I think what you're probably looking for is like a loading animation.
I guess that makes sense. Yeah, it's just like okay, yeah, that makes sense. Gotcha. It just probably set it up in a 1, 2, 3 second format.
You could do that, or you could actually like, let's see, if they're, where is it they're clicking? So like if you want to set the state to waiting for the canvas to load, and then you want a state for showing when the canvas is loaded. So probably if you're sending a new canvas into that group, that section 1 group, then you're probably going to, like, you can set it up so that a do when conditional will know when a new canvas hits that, and then it'll stop the loading animation. Does that make sense?
Gotcha. I think we did something similar to this during the walkthrough, where
yeah, we did on the onboarding thing.
You tied the action to an actual state, which was tied to that.
Yeah, exactly.
I will go back and see if I can find that. I think I bookmarked it.
Oh, good luck. Good luck doing that. Know, right? If you want, we can.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you can do a quick just walkthrough of that, I'd love that.
Yeah, I can. Can you actually talk to Kim for just a moment, and I'll be right back?
Yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
Cool. I'll be right back.
What's up, girl? How's the Philippines going? How are things over there? I guess maybe she stepped away. Senorita Kim.
Sorry, my Wi-Fi is unstable. So.
No, it's okay.
Keyword. You guys are. What was the keyword?
Oh, that's a good idea. Keyword would be working with customs. Ooh, you know what? Now I'm like thinking too hard about it. Give me 1 second as I like try to ponder this. Loading animation tied to custom state.
That sounds good. Okay, thank you.
Yep. That sounds pretty direct.
Sorry about that. I'm back. What you guys talking about?
Keywords.
Wait, I missed that. Oh, keywords. What would the keywords be? Smart. It's a smart conversation. Okay, I'll share my screen. So let's just talk about how to set a loading animation to start when you're creating something, and then to stop once it's created and loaded, right? So we'll make a page here called loading animation. And I'm just going to do this with a group. We'll make the group of type tally, and we won't set the data source. Then what we're going to do, create a button. And the button, the first thing here is we will set a state on the page. Let's see here, called loading. I'm just going to make it text for now. And then here we'll actually create the tally. And you're creating a whole bunch of things, right?
Yeah, I think 27.
Okay. So what we'll do here is we'll make this and call it tallies. Let's say new parameter here. We'll just call it number. I just want to kind of mimic what you're doing. So we'll make
Appreciate
it tally here. We won't set anything. Yeah. Only when number is greater than 0. Tallies, current date and time. Subtract 1 from that number. And then back to our loading animation page. So let's see, we're going to create another thing. So create a new thing this time. Canvas. Now we're going to schedule the API workflow, but I actually have to go back to the API workflow because I need to add here Canvas.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, you're just mimicking the same steps. Yep.
Yep. Create a new tally, and then here we're going to add that tally to the canvas. Not number. Result of step 1. Number is greater than 0. And in your case, you know exactly how many things are being made because that number is not going to change because the lean canvas hasn't changed in a really long time. So we'll know that when we click that button on the loading animation page, that the number that we want to send in here is 27.
27, yep. 9 times.
And the canvas is this result. So we're setting the state of loading animation to loading here. We're going to set a loading animation to actually run, like to pop up and show. But I might not do the animated part. I'll just do a pop-up that says, please wait. And then we'll hide that when this goes away. And this is going to go away when we get to a count of 27. So when an element do when condition is true. So when loading animation loading is loading, it's a lot of loading, then this is when we're going to want to show the pop-up. With the text.
Please wait. Yep.
And I'm animated. So when that happens, we're going to show this pop-up. And then do when condition is true. have to switch this to every time because I often will forget this. So we
What do you
want every time that this condition is true, we want to run this action here.
Gotcha.
And then here, every time loading animations, loading is not loading. Then we want to hide that pop-up. I want to show the text. I want to show the pop-up.
So you would like automatically have it hide once the event is over.
Right.
Or,
So now what we have to do is we set the state to loading. Now we have to set the state to not loading, right? And we're going to also do that on a condition. And now the condition has to be when something is true. And
every time.
I think it'll be every time, only when group tallies. Oh, it's not going to be a tally, it's going to be a canvas.
Yep.
So
Okay.
only when group canvases tallies count is 27. Or I should say greater than or equal to 27.
So once it reaches number 27, go away, essentially.
Yeah, essentially. So when this happens, we're going to set the state to not loading. Because that's the one I did here. Is
That's
not
the second
not
custom
loading.
state, right? Or no?
Yeah, it's one custom state. The first time we set it to loading, and that's when we're going to run this action here to show the pop-up.
Okay.
Then when this canvas here gets to greater than or equal to 27, we're going to turn this to not loading. When that's true, we're going to hide the pop-up.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when button A is clicked, we're going to set the state to loading. That's going to show the pop-up. Then it's going to create this canvas and it's going to start creating the tallies. We're also going to display
Data. Okay.
the canvas result of step 2 in group canvas, right? Because that's what's going to
Transfer the information.
that's what's going to be counting the tallies here to stop the animation.
Gotcha.
All right, let's see if we did it. Ready? It'll be fun.
What does Eli always say? Cross your fingers.
Cross your fingers. Name.
I'm doing my best.
Tonya, that's the most boring animation ever. Use your imagination, Thomas.
Boom, boom, boom. So I guess, do you have 27 things in that it's counting through right
That's
now?
what we're going. That's what we're waiting for, right? I don't know if it's gonna work. What happened?
Is
Let's
it?
go find out.
Did we actually create 27 things to change? Or create? Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
27 entries.
Yep.
But it didn't go away.
Did you end up setting up the second custom state not loading?
I did.
Yeah. Okay, I walked away for a second.
So do when group canvases tallies count as greater than or equal to 27. And that part is not working because then it's supposed to set this to not loading. So this is not enough of a change. So we have to do something else. So group can't, so, oh, I know what we'll do. We'll go into the backend workflows and we'll switch it. So we'll make one more thing here, which is to make changes to a thing. The thing to change is the canvas. The field to change, it's going to be a new field. Done. Will be yes, no, create equals yes. We're only going to do this when the number is
27.
Less than 1.
Oh, okay.
Less than 1. So this will run until it's 0. These will keep running. And then on the 0, it'll try to run this, but fail, fail, fail. But 0 is less than 1. So it'll switch this canvas to being done. So on the page, what we can do here is instead of waiting for this, we'll say when group canvas done is yes.
Okay, I see what you're doing.
We'll set the states to not loading. So then we'll come back in here. Data types
Done.
will default to no.
Okay.
All right, so let's preview and see if we can get it to work.
It's a long.
That is long. Why is that taking so long? Come on. Well, 53 is less than. No? Why do you hate me, Bubble?
Is there something going on in the hide pop-up situation or workflow?
Set do when, oh, that's what loading animations loading is not loading. That's what it was. It might have worked the first time if this bug hadn't been there.
Okay. So it's still going to do the same thing anyways.
Yeah.
We'll see.
It better work.
Right?
Come on. This is what happens when you get overconfident, people.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. It should disappear now. Nope, it still hates me. New entry. I want to just see how many we have here.
Doesn't look like it changed, did it? Didn't see the number.
All right, let's debug here. So button A is clicked. Set loading animation. This part is working because when we set this to loading, we're definitely getting the show pop up. And then when group canvas done is yes. You know what we'll do instead of this group canvas one, we'll just set a state that is a canvas.
So what do
So
you
we still want to send it into display data in group canvas, but we also want to set a state here.
Is there supposed to be a show pop-up? Did you do a show pop-up? I guess.
I did. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that part's working.
Okay.
It's this part that's not working.
Gotcha.
So for this, we'll set the state. Here. And then, because I think what's happening is it's like, this is messing up.
It's cross-referencing incorrectly.
Yeah. So when loading animations, canvas is done is yes. So let's go through the whole thing. So we click the button, we set the loading state to loading, we create a new canvas, we send that canvas into a custom state called canvas. We schedule the workflow and set it to 27, the number, so it runs 27 times, and we send in that same canvas. We display the canvas we just made in the group canvas, which is what you need to do to display your elements, like when you're working on the page.
Gotcha.
Meanwhile, we go to our backend workflows. This part is working to create this 27 tallies, as it takes the number 27 and the canvas that we send in, creates a tally, adds the tally to the canvas. Canvas is the same canvas. Okay, we should do that, fixes that bug. And then runs this 27 times to make 27 tallies. And then here, we change the canvas done to yes at the end when this number is less than 1. Meanwhile, back on our page, we know this part is working. It's showing the loading pop-up. When the canvas that is in that custom state, when it's done is yes, then we set the states of loading. Actually, we can skip that because we can just hide it right here. Hide the pop-up.
Right, because when it's yes.
Yeah. So when the canvas is done is yes, we're going to hide that pop-up. All right, let's try it.
This pop-up just doesn't like you.
It clearly hates
It's
me.
not happy with
Oh,
you.
it worked.
It worked. There you go.
There you go.
Bit lengthy, but I guess, what was that, like 5, 6 seconds, 7 seconds?
Well, you have to understand that it's going to take at least, well, almost 30 seconds, because between each recursive run of the workflow, it put bubble forces a second. So there's going to be a wait time at the end of this workflow here. When even though I schedule it for current date and time, there's like bubble forces a second there.
Okay.
So it'll wait a second and then it'll run the next one. So it's going to take, it's going to take a good long time.
Is there a workaround to that, or is that just?
Yes, there is. And I don't remember if we did it let me go look in your app to see if we did it or not. But the workaround is to copy a list of things.
Yes, I think we did do that.
Yeah, so yours should be faster.
I think we did that on the backend workflow though.
Yeah.
May just have been a workflow on the page. No, it was backend.
Copy a list of canvas answers, make changes to a list.
So this should be a little faster, you say?
So then here, what we do is, because you're sending the canvas in. So here, what you do is make changes to the canvas once that's done.
So you're making another change to the canvas, not the canvas answers. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Result of the canvas. And then you'd create the field here. Done equals yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Got it?
Yeah.
I'll delete that. I'll let you do that part.
Cool.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So one
No
thing
problem.
going between step 1, step 2, step 3, should there be a display data between the clicking of next, like for example, next step 2, next step 3? Should I be doing display data in between those?
Are you talking about in here?
You know what? I guess this is a bit of just off topic. I'm gonna mess around myself and see if I can solve my own question. My question.
No, I want to know what your question is.
Sure. I will. Can I just show you? I guess to
Sure,
make it
yeah.
easy. So between these steps, like I click next and it goes to the next one,
Mhm.
and then next one, should I be displaying data? I guess I shouldn't. That wouldn't make any sense, right?
No, 'cause probably what you want to do is you want to have those groups referring to the pages canvas that you've sent in. So I don't mean the page like actually set the page to a data type of canvas. I mean the groups themselves should all be referencing the same canvas.
Just filtered by.
Yeah, right. So the repeating groups are filtered by,
Right. That makes sense.
our answers filtered by, but the group itself should probably be referencing either a hidden variable or a custom state that is set to being the canvas that you're trying to edit.
So I'm using a custom state or a hidden variable to pass through the canvas.
Right. So if you go into the group that's around these answers, the group should be set to type canvas. And then the data source, you probably want to, instead of, you could display it on each of those, but I think it would probably just be easier to set that to be a custom state of type canvas. And so your data source would be that custom states canvas.
Would I be setting the state on the page or on the actual group?
I would set it on the page.
Okay. So I would probably just be one custom states for each individual one, or
No, you just need one custom state and then they can all refer to that custom state, because it's never the case that you're going to click next and you're going to want to be editing like the solutions from a different canvas. They're all going to be referencing the same one.
gotcha. Okay, cool. I'll mess around with that. Get back to you if I have any problems.
Cool. Awesome. All right. Did you have any other questions or anything else you wanted to work through?
Nope.
Nope. Okay.
Thank you.
I want to try this thing. So somebody asked in, and I'll show the page. Let's go to Facebook. Whenever I feel bad about my page load times, I go to Facebook and it makes me feel better.
You don't really, it's funny because you don't notice it until you're actually on another site that it's like not that much.
Yeah. So there's was this one. So, oh yeah, this guy's hilarious. He wants, I want a Bumble developer for $150. And it's like, you can tell me what you want for $150.
That doesn't sound like a bad idea, right?
I'm like, you can pay me to hear your idea. Help, guys, what action should I perform for when I go back to a given page, return exactly inside an input? So there are 5 comments here. So on page load set focus, and he was kind of having trouble understanding because I think he speaks Portuguese. And this one was like, I think he didn't understand that he like, what he's asking is if I have a user filling out a form or on an input in one page and somehow they end up navigated to the next page, if they click the back button, I want them to go back to the page, but already be set to the same input where they had been.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense? I think that's what he's asking.
Just keep it saved.
And so Christoph said to do this with using the toolbox plugin, but I still think he misses the point of like, we're clicking back. right? So we're not going forward and we're not clicking a button on the page to go somewhere. We're clicking the back button and we want to end up on that same focused input. Now, this would work if you always want it to be the same input, because if you have it set on page load to focus on a particular input, then you could do that. I think that's what he's suggesting. He says you should install the toolbox plugin, enable the ID for your elements on page in your app settings, set an ID to the input element of your page, ID to the input element of your page. So this is assuming one input, right? Focus. Then you set a workflow when page is loaded and you add the run JavaScript action to focus on it. I think this is overkill. I think we can do this with Bubble natively, and I think we can do what he wants. So I'm going to test my theory. And huh? Say it one more time.
Did you just do this like through URL parameters?
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Exactly. Precisely. So what I want to do is button. So I'm going to create 3 inputs. Input 1, input 2, input 3. Now, Canvas does this beautiful job of automatically making ID attributes available in my elements. But if that wasn't true, I could go to settings and then I think general to expose the option to add ID attribute to HTML elements and then make sure that's checked. So I already have that checked. So I'm just going to label this 1, this 1, 2, and this 1, 3. Now, I think when I have, if I can do when condition is true, so when input A value valid is hovered isn't hovered visible. Nope, it's not allowing me on the focus. Yeah, so maybe I do need the JavaScript part of it. Because I don't seem to have a state that when it's focused that I can do something. Let's see. That's weird that I don't have access to that. I have access to it in terms of like making changes to what it looks like on the page, but I don't have access to it as like in my workflows.
I kind of missed a little bit of that. Can you kind of re-explain?
Yeah, so what I want to do is when I want to do a do when workflow, when the input is focused, I want to go to the page and I want to change the parameters. Input equals 1, like, or equals, and here's the trick is I want to do input A's and I also want to get the ID attribute and I can't. So I definitely I definitely need JavaScript for this.
Gotcha.
So, okay, well,
So
at least I figured out I would need JavaScript for it relatively quickly.
Sure. I guess.
So,
yep.
Enable the ID for your elements on page in your app settings. Set an ID to the input element of your page.
I see. So this is what Christoph is suggesting with the toolbox plugin.
Well, not quite, because he missed, I think Christoph missed the part that he wants to be able to click the back button and go there. And this is really only accounting for one input that you want focused when the person gets onto the page. He wants them to go back to a specific input where they had been, but not a specific one in total, right?
Gotcha.
So really we would need to, like, we probably use JavaScript or something to, I was going to do URL parameters, which is what you suggested. So if Bubble would allow me to do this, it would be awesome. Maybe there's a plugin that would allow me to do this, but basically I need an only when conditional here. When input A is focused, then I want to set the input parameter, URL parameter, to input A's ID attribute, right? And then when I went to another page and clicked back, on page load, I would look for an input, whatever the input parameter says, and then I would focus on that using the ID as well, right? But it definitely looks like I need a plugin or some custom JavaScript to do that. So
Have you done this operation with JavaScript before? Or?
no, no,
Got it.
no.
Do you want to try figuring it out, or is that a bit tricky?
What I'd like to do is I'd actually like to have Mateo on office hours, and maybe Mateo could show us how to do it.
Oh yeah.
I can invite him and see. We'll see if he would be willing to do that. He'd have to stay up a little late on a Friday night. That's okay. And only till like, what, it's like 4 p.m. when it's 7 a.m. So 7 p.m. his time. I can ask. Doesn't hurt to ask.
Does not hurt to ask.
So besides tiny acquisitions, is there a place you know where you can sell your Bubble apps?
Or is that a question to me, or is that a?
Yeah, just in general, I was like asking you and anyone who might be watching, because this, I think that the cap on this is 5,000.
What do you mean by 5,000?
Like you can sell your project up to $5,000. So
Oh, that's a bit limited. Are you looking to sell a project?
yes,
Cool.
but for more than $5,000.
Oh yeah, I feel you. Trying to think of another one. I thought I had heard of another more popular one. I don't know why I don't remember off the top of my head.
This looks like it was built with Canvas.
Built with Canvas? Yeah.
I recognize this. Cool. Yeah, I'm looking for like.
Do you have a price range?
Like 25 to 30K.
There you go. I'm surprised like tiny acquisitions wouldn't have an option to. I'm surprised they just cap you. I guess maybe something.
I don't know if they do.
Yeah.
I could ask the guy who created it, but it, because it doesn't say it on there about us, that they limit it. But it did say when I was searching for it, it says, buy a tiny project, build a startup through acquisition for less than 5K. Hmm. That's cool.
Micro acquisitions. Flippa, have you heard of Flippa? Flippa.
Hmm. I think I've heard of it, but I've never gone to it.
I might be looking at the wrong thing.
Yeah, this is probably.
Wow, that's nice. Look at that. This dress up who price range. Asking price.
Yeah, like
That's cool. Yep. Look at 90,000, 100,000.
yeah.
Damn, these guys are shooting.
Yeah.
I wonder if the products are like actually worth that much, like, or if they're just like inflating it because they love their idea.
Yep, not sure. Oh, can you hear this cat? This cat wants love. You're gonna get in very big trouble.
What'd you say?
The cat is like pestering me. She's like about to step on my keyboard. Oh.
Modern maps. I take it you probably can't talk about your project.
No, I can't. But it's interesting. Flip is good. I think I'll start there. See what we can do.
30,000.
Oh yeah, I was thinking about our app that we're building together
Oh,
in the earlier sessions.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah.
You want to continue scoping or
Yeah, let's do it.
do it?
Kat, are you gonna let me have my arms back? I don't know why she's been so needy lately. All right, so we were working on it workflowy, or I was typing it up in workflowy. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Put it down. Okay, so here we go. So database users, admin, drivers, and buyers. Then we have to have the order. Orders have line items.
Oh, cool. You started working on it. You got territory. And then application and suspension. What's application and suspension for exactly?
So the application was part of like recognizing that some of the people who use the service will be able to afford it.
Mm.
And some of them need more help. So, and that application was for maybe the people who need more help.
Is that
or
like
something.
is it kind of like a request application?
Yeah, like application is like if you want the service to cost less money,
Yeah.
like if you're looking for financial help or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then suspension would be like if you wanted to pay for the service for someone else. Like, I don't know if you've heard of that coffee on suspension. Like,
It doesn't sound like the right word for the situation, but.
oh, I know it doesn't, but that's what people call it. Like,
Gotcha.
like the people will go into a coffee shop and say, I want a suspension coffee or something like that.
Gotcha. Okay.
I think that's what it's called. Suspension. Yeah, suspended coffees for the needy. Thank you for telling me that it's stupid. I don't think it's
For the needy is stupid.
I think it's kind. Yeah. Hey, Sander, how are you?
Hello, good morning, evening. I have no idea. I'm fine, thank you.
I'm glad. Awesome. Did you bring a question?
Yes, what about Stripe?
Okay, awesome. Thomas, should we continue this tomorrow?
Yeah, just in betweens.
Okay, cool. I will stop sharing and I'll let you share, Sander.
Yes, I will open the app. 1 minute. Wait, I'm opening the app.
No worries. Oh, I saw you use SAS alias. I might have some questions about that.
For me?
Yeah. Don't you use it? I saw you were talking about it in one of the forum threads.
It is possible. About what?
SAS alias as a plugin for being able to have users of your app.
We worked with it before and it was good, but at this moment we don't use it anymore. But because the app is offline, but when he go back online, we will use it again. It for what it do, it's kind of cheap. So it's also a good price and yeah.
Got it. Cool. I'm looking at I'm researching it for a client right now.
Okay.
That's why I was interested.
Right.
And I saw your name and I was like, I know him.
I will make a test page to make it a bit quicker. Okay. Okay, I will share my screen. So normally you can see my screen.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, I just have a test page where we have the button to pay. When we go to the plugins.
Oh, wait, before you click in the plugin, you're not going to show us any API keys we don't need to see, right?
Yeah, indeed. Wait, I should log in because it's for the current user. Oh, yeah, it doesn't matter. It's a test page. So when I click the name, description, and amounts. The amount is filled in, name doesn't matter. Picture, should it? Doesn't matter. Yeah, perfect. So first it's showing the Stripe page really quick, and then it just say something went wrong. Please check your connection because the payment provider cannot be reached at the moment.
Okay, and that's using the regular Stripe plugin.
Yeah, and we start with all new API just these Stripe. So it's a basic one from
From Bubble. Yeah, that's the
yeah.
one I use the most. Okay. Here, let me use, I'll pull it up and try to recreate it, but I'll use the Sandbox app so it doesn't matter. Like the API keys won't matter because I can share that. So
Okay. I will stop sharing. So
all right. So in here, plugins. Do I have
yeah, it's a bit strange because I did it already so many times, and
yeah, it could just be like Stripe is having some kind of issue. Have you used the Stripe checkout page before? I know that's kind of like that's part of using the latest version of the Stripe plugin.
what do you mean with the checkout page?
Okay, so when you went on your screen, the error you showed on the second page, that was a Stripe page showing that error.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the checkout page. In previous instances of the Bubble Stripe plugin, like checkout V2 is not the latest one. Checkout V3 is the recommended, is the newest one, and it goes to the checkout page instead of like just showing the pop-up and having the user use the pop-up.
But that's
Yeah.
what I do indeed.
Right, exactly. So let me just see. Let me go into. I actually want to sign out. Still a sandbox, people. We had somebody accidentally show some API keys the other day, so being very careful. Okay. So we're going to copy this. The development publisher key here. Then were you charging using a saved credit card, or were you collecting, charging the current user?
Yeah, the current user.
Had you
Yeah,
filled any of
no,
this
what
other stuff out?
I tried to achieve, but I never did that before, but I think I can find it, is to set up a subscription model. So if you can show how you can, it's for a subscription that should be for each month again, but I never did it before. I think I can find it myself, but if you can show that, it should be easier for me.
Sure. So I think you can create, subscribe the user to a plan. And then you can go in and you can make the plan, right? So if I'm in here and I go to products and I add a product, and the product standard pricing, graduated, I think,
And then there was a,
product plan, price.
now it's for each month because he said.
Yeah. No, I'm just trying to find where it is. I've done it before. So for CoCreative NoCode, I charge subscriptions, but I just made all the subscriptions in Bubble myself. So I don't actually use Stripe subscriptions. I just tell Bubble to charge the card every month.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, I mean, you can do it either way. It works. So, but it would be a product that you're making, right? So product details, price, standard pricing model versus graduated volume, billing period, monthly here. So yeah, so you would name it here. You would say monthly. You can add your description here. Description. And you can say it's $100 per month, recurring monthly. Yeah. Nah, that's good. So product, you could even upload an image for it. And then you can save. So now you have that done. Guess we can copy this in case we need it. So here under payment, you could subscribe the user to a plan. There's only one plan.
Okay,
So it picks one. So
that's easy.
yeah, so it's pretty easy. Let's see if it works.
But then we have to remove the first step, I guess, because that's charging.
Yeah, I don't know if this is the only thing we need to do, or if maybe there's like if we need to collect their credit card info, but let's preview. Oh, I'm not logged in as a user. That would help. Yep, there we go.
Okay, it's just that easy. Perfect. Yeah, I never did before, so already.
And then
Yeah, it's strange. It's not working for me to Stripe. I think I just have to update it again.
my card's been declined. How could my card be declined, Stripe? It's a fake card. Why isn't it saying I'm in test mode? I'm not in live mode, but it's saying I'm in live mode. Did I not? I guess I never put it into test mode. Why would they even try to let me do that? I haven't verified this account or anything. It's really silly. So I guess you could I need to create the product in test mode. But
Okay,
yeah, but it looks like it's working basically. So
okay, then I
Yeah.
have just recreate API keys and maybe then it's working again.
yeah. Awesome.
Okay, perfect. That's it for me.
Very good. Well, it's cool to hang out with you. What else has been going on in your world, Sander? It's been a while.
Oof, not that much at this moment, and I'm happy with it. So
good.
yeah, just a few products. One is really nice. I can tell a lot about it, but it's for a video company, and it will generate videos automatically. It's working together with After Effects from Adobe. He will render the videos, save it, and then also have documents of 150 gigabytes in one time uploading. So yeah, we did a lot of testing before we accept. Before I accept
That's crazy.
the
That's a lot.
project, but it was working, and it's really nice. So it's with a lot of AI that recognize how we can make the movie nice and where you have to add transitions and things like that. So the client have just to upload their videos he make with his smartphone or just a hobby camera, and then he will get a professional video that we send through an API to a lot of AI, and yeah, so that's a really nice new thing I'm building for a client here in Belgium.
That's very cool. That sounds very, very like intense, actually.
Yeah, we did a lot of research to find out what's possible, what are the best ways, who are going to be good partners for this. So it's a long project. So it's, yeah, of course, it's not built in just 1 week. But yeah, when it's going to be finished, it's going to be a really nice tool, I hope.
Very cool.
Yeah.
When is it going to be done?
Sorry?
When will it be done?
We discussed with the clients at the end of November. So yeah, we still have 3 months. So that's more than enough. But
yeah, we're trying to figure out some video stuff, but not that intense, right, Kim?
and what about
Sorry,
you?
I said yeah, but then I was on mute.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I've been working on a couple things. We're working on a no code professional association. And so that's interesting work.
And what it gonna do? Or
so it's gonna be a sort of like I mean, do you know what I mean by a professional association? Like professional associations usually like put their ideas out into the world in terms of like industry standards and things like that. There's no code professional association right now that I could find. And so we're going to start with Bubble, of course, just because that's where we're comfortable. But
Yeah.
the idea is to start to establish standards by which you can gauge a professional no coder's skill set.
okay.
So that's one of the projects I'm working on. Pretty excited about. And then just busy at AirDev, always busy at AirDev.
Yeah. That's nothing new.
Nothing new and nothing wrong with it, right? so yeah, we're just having fun. Let's see here.
You still
yeah,
you still really like Bubble?
Do I still really like Bubble?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I do really like Bubble, but I recognize every time I'm on office hours or whatever, and I feel like I run into a dead end. It's like I keep coming back to like I really need to dive into JavaScript, like and APIs like JSON and stuff like that, like figuring out the language so I can do APIs better and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really, it's really it's annoying to feel handicapped, and the more I work on stuff, the more I'm like, I just need to do it. So.
And are you gonna follow a course for it, or?
Yeah, I've purchased several courses for JavaScript before. The thing is is Bubble sticks with me, but JavaScript doesn't. So I feel very like, like it's gonna, I need to find some concentrated time. Probably need to do like a boot camp or something, and like with other people with assignments and guidance or something. Yeah, I mean, I like being a product manager. I like the work. I especially like being involved in so many different apps and seeing what people want to do with apps in Bubble. So like there's that part, but then part of me always misses spending my days deving. So, but now that I did that, so you saw that I was able
Yes.
to do that.
Sorry.
So if I go to customers, I have this customer, I can click in here and I can see that they paid 100 and it was a subscription. So billing monthly, next invoice on October 9th for 100. So yeah, that was easy enough. The only part that I don't know about this is like how to do proration and stuff with it. So like if I have 2 subscription levels and this person paid 100 for this subscription, but then they click the button to upgrade the subscription, and I just want them to not just pay the difference between 100 and 200, but let's say they were on the 100 plan for like 10 days, and now they want to move to the 200 plan for the rest of the month, 20 or 21 days, right? I want to charge them the additional amount per day for the rest of those days in that month for access to the upgraded membership. That's the thing that I haven't figured out how to do in Stripe yet. I'm pretty sure they can handle it, because who doesn't want to do that, right? Like there's so many different companies that have that. But I built that out. I built all of that logic out for myself in CoCreative.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
And-
if you,
and why, just to learn how to do it, or because the feature is already built in Stripe, so why do you build it yourself? Just to learn how to do it?
yeah, I guess so. I just decided to do it and think through it, and it was a good exercise, right? So, and it works. If you go and you sign up for my subscription at 49 per month, and then 3 days later you want to upgrade to the 99 per month, it will only charge you the upgraded difference for the remaining days in your subscription period.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But yeah, there's gotta be like when you're in here, like subscribe the user to plan here. Yeah, I don't know how to do that.
It's fine. I will search it.
Is that something you need to be able to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have 3 different plans.
Yeah, when you figure that out, can you come back on and show us?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that would be good, because I haven't figured that out yet. And this, of course, is much easier than creating the subscription yourself in Bubble.
But maybe just do it automatically when you have 2 plans. Maybe Stripe's smart enough, because he know that one user normally can't have 2 different plans at the same time. So
Mhm.
if you just do another button, the same workflow, but just for another plan, maybe automatically recalculate it,
Maybe, let's try it.
because there is no other action for it. So it should be
Product,
something like
add
that.
product.
Which should be nice if it's like that.
More expensive subscription. I'm not very creative tonight. Monthly upgraded. you weren't here earlier, but I made a pop-up that said, pretend this is animated. That's how creative I am tonight. Okay. So I've created this one. So I'm going to copy this just in case, but I don't think I need it. So go here. Can't cancel the current user's plan. Yeah, so I guess maybe I'll just try to subscribe.
Yeah, I guess we should just take the same action for it. Just select another plan.
Yeah, let
Then
me
we first
hang
have
on
to
just
create another plan. Do you create it in test mode as well?
say that one more time. My kid was knocking on the door.
Did you create the other plan in Stripe also in test mode?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, because it don't show up.
It's not showing. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
weird. Let's go back to the products. Now it's showing. Now it
Oh,
is. This
okay.
one is the second one. All right, so I'm going to preview. Your subscription has been successfully
updated.
updated.
So I think it worked.
Let's go find out. Let's go see what happened. Customers. So
Yeah. Look, you. No? Yeah. No. What are the pending invoice items? I think it worked there,
yeah, I think so.
but then you lost a few cents. So
Change
yeah, you switch it. That's
subscription
what he said.
price.
But then I don't understand the invoices he made.
Yeah, because this is only showing one payment of 100.
Yeah. But here the pending invoice items are a bit strange. Because you said it's 100, but there is just 99.98.
Mm-hmm.
So I have no idea where it's going from. But okay, the best part is that he update the thing. So that's
Right.
good. The other things, I guess it will work. Otherwise,
Well, hang on a second. More expensive subscription, billing monthly, next invoice on October 9th for 299.99. That's not right. Because one was for 100 and one was for 200. So I only want to charge them for the $200 one on October 9th, right?
yeah, then you have to first cancel. Is there an option to cancel
The
plan?
subscription, yeah, so there is. So there's this here. So when I
Okay.
pay this one, I can, instead of subscribing, I can cancel it.
No,
I
first
go-
cancel it, and then after it, the second.
Yeah. Payment. Where is it? Update a subscription, create a subscription item. So I'll just cancel all of the subscriptions for right now. Hang on just a second. I'm gonna let the cat out. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. All right, so I'm going to click here and cancel my subscriptions. Come back here, go to customers. So it's no future invoices, so that worked, canceled it. Which deleted the pending invoice items. All right, so now I'm going to click this button again to resubscribe, and then this one. So my guess is when I click this button, when I go to preview, I'm going to click this button. It's going to charge me again.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I can come to my customer and refresh. So it charged me again, and it's going to charge me again next month. Now I'm going to come and I'm going to come back to this page and click the second button. Now it's charged me 200, I bet. Yeah, so you just charged me all over again.
Okay, but it don't give you any money back, so you just lost.
$400. No,
Yeah.
I didn't. I'm not. This is we're in test mode, so it's fine.
No.
But
But I mean, first you said you want to the subscription of 100. Then you cancel it, but you still pay the $100.
right. So I mean,
But that's
I
not
guess
correct.
technically you could do like. So the way I have it in CoCreative NoCode is I check everything that you've paid that I consider a subscription payment in the last month and deduct it from whatever it is that you're trying to upgrade to. And then I charge you the difference. So, yeah. So yeah, definitely. If you figure out how to do the upgrades and downgrades and keep everything in keep track of everything in Stripe, I definitely want to see your implementation because that would be really helpful.
Yeah, I will check it out.
Yeah, and then of course, if you want to see like how it goes, like what I do in CoCreative NoCode, you can as well. So I'm using hidden variables to keep track of the days, the number of days in the current billing period and the number of days left in the current user's current billing period to create the prorated amount here. And then in my workflows, like if they click this, I'm setting states. Right, and then I go to confirm here, user subscription. So button free forever. So this is not an upgrade. That's never an upgrade. So I should, button premium would be one. So I showed the update payment method pop up. Like depending on how much they owe, I figure it out using those 3 hidden variables and I show them like what they're going to be charged and everything. And then I send it into these custom events down here. So,
Okay.
yeah. It was tricky. It took me a weekend back in like February or March or whatever, but it was worth it. It's been working ever since.
What are the different colors you are using?
Different.
Just green and gray.
What are the different what?
The tabs of your workflows. You're just having green by default, and sometimes it's gray. What's the difference?
Oh, the green is Canvas, like came with Canvas, and the gray is when I added it myself. There's no
Okay.
rhyme or reason. Yeah, green, all of Canvas's default workflows are green. So some of
Okay.
these I modified them and I didn't change the color, but all of the gray ones I know I made myself.
Okay.
So,
And do you work with the workflow folder?
sometimes, but I definitely recommend using workflow folders if and when you anticipate that someone else might take over the editing or changing or
Yeah.
developing of the app. For me, like I'm so familiar with Canvas that I find it's easier, like it's easy enough just to like go in and make the changes and I can recognize what's mine and what's Canvas and that sort of thing. But I definitely recommend using workflow folders. I love that when I see it, and it's part of something I would consider documentation. Even though it's not specifically documentation, I would consider that a part of like organization and documentation of your app as you're developing, which I think is really important. Like I'm super proud of get to the bottom. If it is at the bottom.
How many apps do you have?
Oh gosh, I counted this the other day and I was at like 78 different apps
Oh.
that I was like, but they're not mine, right? They're not all mine.
No.
These are apps to which I have access. Someone has given me access for some reason. And I don't just go into my clients' apps without permission. Like I never just pop into an app without asking first.
Okay.
But an example of this one is where it is. I love the way that I did the workflows in this. So I didn't use workflow folders, but I put everything into custom events so that I don't have any conditions cluttering up.
Oh, really? Yeah, and it looks a lot nicer.
Yeah, it looks neater. It's easier to find. And then I labeled the custom events alert if it's an alert, database if it's making a change to the database, hiding if it's hiding something, showing if it's showing something. So I could kind of follow along with it and make it easier to find. So I did this one, since all of them fit on one screen, I didn't bother doing workflow folders. But if you have a page where you have enough that they spill over, then it's probably worth it to do workflow folders. So, yeah,
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much.
you're welcome. Thank you for joining. And thank you also to Thomas for joining. Did you have anything else for this evening, Thomas?
Nope, that'll be it.
Cool. As always, it's so much fun working with both of you. And thank you, Kim, for being here as well. And if you are watching live or the replay, we're going to be back here tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. for office hours again. If you would like to join us for a complimentary session of office hours, you can go ahead and comment on the live or comment on the replay, and you can send, and Kim will send you credentials so you can join us for your complimentary session. So thank you again, everyone, for being here, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Bye.